Hi, my name is Lauren Pelletier, and my topic for the oral presentation is the role of non-governmental organizations during a disaster. To begin, a disaster is classified by FEMA as an emergency where the response requirements exceed the capabilities of the established emergency services for a particular local government or a region. Some major examples of disasters are Hurricane Katrina, 9/11, and the California wildfires. Now, throughout this course, our case studies and readings have focused primarily on the role the government plays in disaster response, but today I'm going to focus solely on NGOs. So, what is an NGO? An NGO is a nonprofit organization that operates independently of any government, and in the case of disaster management, their common interest is to assist the affected people. Some examples include the American Red Cross, Doctors Without Borders, Habitat for Humanity, the Salvation Army, and Catholic World Charities. NGOs usually step in when the necessary resources beyond the government's capabilities are required. They also don't need to clear as much paperwork, so when it comes to disaster response, they play a key role in food relief, temporary shelter, medical aid, debris removal, habitat restoration, trauma counseling, and raising families. So now that we have a baseline knowledge, it's time to delve into the role NGOs play in the before and after of a disaster. First is the pre-disaster phase, which much like the government is all about education, awareness, and training. This makes sure that in the event of a disaster, everyone is prepared to how to properly work with the government agencies and the appropriate next steps. For instance, during the post-disaster phase, NGOs can provide assistance with rescue, first aid, sanitation, hygiene, damage assessment, and even bringing in relief materials to the affected areas. But their responsibilities don't stop there. Once that initial shock and those relief efforts end, NGOs help by providing technical and material support for safe construction, reestablishing educational institutions, and restoring regular activities. There are so many different NGOs, though, that when arriving on scene, effective communication may not always occur. So, an organization called VOAD was created in 1970. It stands for Voluntary Organizations Active in Disasters and encompasses 49 national member organizations. Their jobs are primarily to help member groups at a disaster location coordinate and communicate for the most effective response. In conclusion, NGOs benefit this process tremendously by reducing the mortality rate among victims, being the first on the scene for immediate assistance, providing long-term recovery assistance, being flexible, innovative, and most importantly, being community-based.